If you're possibly thinking about selling your house, one of the #1 questions you're gonna have is, what does the process look like? Better yet, how long does it take? Hi, I'm Mike Cuevas with Your Real Estate Dudes, and what we're gonna chat about on this video is walk you through the 3 stages of the home selling timeline so that you know exactly what to expect, and better yet, you could start planning ahead of time. Now, the home selling process is gonna be broken down into 3 main stages, regardless of how you're selling your property. So what we're gonna talk about is the very first stage, is what we call the pre-listing stage. And the pre-listing stage is typically the part of the process where you're getting everything ready. Nobody lists their house without first in preparation, because if you're looking to get highest and top dollar for it, the house needs to look good. And this pre-listing process is going to vary on the amount of time it'll take, because usually it's on the condition of your property. So certain things that you're gonna wanna ask yourself is, should I stage my house before selling it? Or better yet, what time of the year is the best in my situation to go out and sell this property? During this time, we also want to remove all clutter. We want to get that house in the tip-top showing condition, because this is an emotional process, and the person who ever does end up buying your house, you want to strike an emotional chord with them. And that can only be done when your house is looking really crisp, not smelling like poop. Now, another really important process to consider, and something we do with all of our clients when we are in the pre-listing stage, is look for different areas of your property that you might potentially be able to sprucing up so that you can sell your house for top dollar. So for example, let's just say you have older appliances like black or white. Well, we should probably switch those out to stainless, and we will get a positive ROI on that. In addition, maybe you have carpeting that needs to be changed. Well, maybe you want to put in hardwood floors, or even paint your cabinets before listing the property on the market. Now, a couple small improvements like this could help you absolutely stretch the max sales price for your property, and it is some things that you want to consider. And this is just one of the services that we anticipate, or at least introduce to you on each and every listing we take. Now, the next stage of the process is going to be when you actually go active, or you're on the market. And the active stage is extremely important. This is when the property is listed and, hey, come out and buy it. Now, what's going to be very important during this process is the very first 2 weeks, because that's the chances that your property is more than likely going to sell for top dollar. But what you want to be prepared during this stage is to always have that house in tip-top showing condition. The one thing that we can never control is when somebody wants to come out and see your property. But the one thing you can control is just having it ready, because we want to make sure we get as many people through that property as fast as possible, especially right when it hits the market. This is going to be the time that you're going to have a lot of urgency, and I would tell you to watch our other video on seller positioning and why that is so important. Now, if your property's priced right, with our marketing plan, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll be able to put it under contract within 2 to 4 weeks, despite market conditions. But it's once we do put it under contract that the property isn't sold quite yet. You're only halfway through the point, which leads us into the 3rd stage of the listing process. Now, the 3rd stage of the listing process is what we used to call the pending, or maybe you may call it you're an escrow stage. And what this means is, great, I have a buyer that wants to buy my house, but they didn't close yet. And there's a lot of things that needs to happen at this point. As a matter of fact, I would even say that most of the work is gonna start right about now, because finding your new house or finding the buyer for your existing house is only half the battle. We still need to get them all the way to the closing table. And one of those things that the buyer is going to be doing during this time is some of their diligence. So for example, they're gonna go ahead and schedule a home inspection, because chances are they spent less than 15 to 20 minutes in your house before they decided to make one of the largest financial investments. But that's just how it is. So what they're gonna do is order a home inspector or home inspection to come over to the property and verify its condition. They're gonna inspect everything from the roof to the foundation to the GFCI outlets. And what you can expect is that anything that pops up that is an inspection concern, they have the right to come ask you to either A, fix it, or B, provide a credit. Again, this is one reason why during the pre-listing stage, we're doing all types of these fix-ups to avoid being asked for credits down the road, which is part of our overall listing strategy. At the end of the day, preparation nets you more money, and that's what the dudes do. The second thing that the buyer needs to do is they're gonna actually go out and start applying for their financing. They need to order title and a couple other miscellaneous things. But just because they put an offer on their house does not mean their loan's approved yet. As a matter of fact, they cannot start officially their loan process until they have an accepted contract. Now, chances are, if you have a good team of dudes watching your back, we've already verified their financing with the lender, and most times this should just be part of the process, but it is also part of the dude's duty to actually make sure that they're doing everything they need. We need to make sure they're ordering that inspection. We need to follow up with their lender and make sure they turned in all their financing docs. We need to make sure this property closes in time so that we have no delays, especially if you find yourself buying and selling at the same time. Now, typically once you're under contract, you can expect the average closing process to go anywhere from 21 days to 45 days. I would like to average at about 30 is typically what we see, but this is also a negotiation point. Maybe you can't find a house right now. Well, maybe we'll negotiate a longer closing date. There's all different types of ways to look at this, but it's so important that you look at all of your scenarios and all of your options and start finding the best types of time to list, the solutions, and all the above for you. So there you have it. Those are the 3 stages of the home selling timeline. If you have any additional questions and you'd like to talk about this in more detail, go ahead and schedule a meeting with the dudes. And one thing that we're going to tell you is that we are 100% transparent. You sort of get what you have, but the one thing we are is 100% creative. We are not just your typical real estate company. We are a real estate marketing company, and our expertise is in marketing your property to get top dollar. Simply click the link somewhere next to this video if that's something that sounds interesting to you. We would love to speak with you, love to chat with you, and show you exactly why people hire real estate marketing dudes. Thanks for watching. Check out some of our other videos. My name is Mike Cuevas, your real estate dude.